Balerion, the Black Dread. Balerion was born before 114 BC in Valyria, long before the Doom turned that land to ash. When the Targaryens fled to Dragonstone, they brought him with them, already massive for his kind. By the time of Aegon's conquest, Balerion was beyond comprehension, black scales that drank the light, teeth as long as swords, and fire hot enough to melt stone. He led the charge at Harrenhal, turning the great castle's towers into rivers of molten rock, and his flame forged the Iron Throne itself. Later, during Aegon's campaigns, Balerion burned armies, ships, and cities. He was the embodiment of Targaryen rule. When King Viserys I wrote him a century later, the dragon was ancient and half-blind, his wings tattered but still mighty. He died in 94 AC, peacefully on Dragonstone. The Maesters said his skull measured more than 20 feet long, the true shadow of Valyria, gone at last. Vhagar, the Old Queen. Vhagar hatched on Dragonstone before 52 BC, the smallest of Aegon's 3 dragons, but the one who would outlive them all. She was Visenya's mount during the conquest, and her roar was said to shake the earth. Together, they burned the Arryn fleets, the Vale, and parts of the Reach. After the conquest, she fought in Maegor's wars, and later slept for decades until Laena Velaryon claimed her. By then, Vhagar was ancient, scarred, and slow, but her size had become monstrous. When Laena died, Prince Aemond Targaryen took her, sealing his claim with fire. During the Dance of the Dragons, Vhagar's power was unmatched. She destroyed Rook's Rest alongside Sunfire, killing Princess Rhaenys and her dragon Meleys. But her end came above the God's Eye in 130 AC. Aemond and Daemon met in the air, Vhagar versus Caraxes. They tore into each other mid-flight, fell burning into the lake, and vanished beneath the water. Vhagar's skull was later found with Daemon's sword Dark Sister lodged through her eye. Meraxes, the Silver Storm. Meraxes was born between 114 and 88 BC, either in Valyria or shortly after the Targaryens reached Dragonstone. She bonded with Queen Rhaenys, who was bold, curious, and loved flying higher than any of her kin. During Aegon's conquest, Meraxes burned castles in the Reach and the Stormlands, her silver scales gleaming against the clouds. She was known for her speed and grace, the most agile of the 3 conquering dragons. But her life ended at the Dornish stronghold of Hellholt. A scorpion bolt from the castle walls pierced her eye mid-flight. She and Rhaenys crashed together, killing both instantly. Her skull was returned years later under a flag of truce, a haunting reminder that even dragons can fall. Quicksilver, the Bright Flame. Quicksilver hatched around 30 AC on Dragonstone, a shimmering, elegant dragon with pale silver wings. King Aenys first rode her, using her mainly for ceremony rather than war. After his death, his son, Aegon the Uncrowned, claimed her to fight his uncle, Maegor the Cruel. Their clash above the city in 43 AC was a duel between youth and power. Quicksilver darted through the sky, quicker and lighter, but Balerion was a black mountain. When their flames met, the sky turned white. Balerion's fire consumed Quicksilver in seconds, her body falling in burning pieces into the Blackwater Bay. Aegon's body was never found, only shards of melted silver and bone.
Dreamfire, the Blue Queen. Dreamfire hatched around 32 AC on Dragonstone and bonded with Princess Rhaena, Aegon's granddaughter. Slender, graceful, with pale blue scales and silver wings, she became known for her elegant flying and her calm temper. Dreamfire laid many eggs throughout her long life, and some say one of them found its way to Essos, centuries later reborn as one of Daenerys' dragons. During the dance, Dreamfire was locked in the dragon pit under Aegon II's rule. When a mob of small folk stormed the pit, she broke her chains and brought the dome down on herself, crushing her attackers. It was said that even as she died, she was still trying to fly free. Vermithor, the Bronze Fury. Vermithor hatched in 34 AC, the cradle companion of Prince Jaehaerys I Targaryen. He grew into a colossal bronze dragon, second only to Vhagar in size by the time of the dance. Jaehaerys' long peace kept Vermithor from battle, but when the realm tore itself apart in 129 AC, the Bronze Fury roared again. Claimed by the blacksmith Hugh Hammer, Vermithor burned towns and armies alike, his rider's ambition as wild as his fire. At the Second Battle of Templeton, Vermithor faced Silverwing, Seasmoke, and Tessarion in one of the bloodiest aerial duels in history. The sky was filled with flame, smoke, and the screams of dragons. When it ended, all four lay dead, a fiery graveyard that marked the beginning of the end for dragonkind. Silverwing, the Gentle Lady. Silverwing hatched around 34 AC and was bonded to Queen Alysanne, Jaehaerys' beloved wife. She was a docile, affectionate dragon, known to curl beside Vermithor whenever they rested. Alysanne flew her across the realm on royal progresses, bringing awe to every village she passed. After her rider's death, Silverwing went wild but remained gentle, nesting near Red Lake. During the dance, she was claimed and forced into battle at Templeton, where she faced her old companion Vermithor. Both dragons died locked together, wings wrapped as if refusing to part even in death. Caraxes, the Bloodworm. Caraxes was hatched before 72 AC on Dragonstone, lean, red, and vicious. First ridden by Prince Aemon, then by Daemon Targaryen, he earned his name for his temper and his love of battle. Daemon and Caraxes became legends of war. They burned the stepstones during the campaigns against the Triarchy and fought countless duels in the skies. Caraxes was known to scream before battle, a piercing shriek that sent horses fleeing and men trembling.
Meleys the Red Queen. Meleys hatched before 75 AC and was a dazzling sight. Deep red scales with a pink shimmer beneath her wings. She was first claimed by Alyssa Targaryen, later by Princess Rhaenys Balerion, the queen who never was. In her youth, Meleys was known as one of the fastest dragons alive, easily outpacing even Caraxes. But by the dance, she was aging. Still, at Rook's Rest, Rhaenys faced Aegon II's Sunfire and Aemon's Vhagar, 2 against 1. Meleys fought like fire incarnate, but Vhagar's flame broke her in midair. Her body crashed to the ground, burning soldiers on both sides. The Red Queen died a warrior's death, defiant to her last breath. Syrax, the Golden Mother. Syrax was born around 104 AC and bonded with Princess Rhaenyra when she was only 7. Named after a goddess of Valyria, Syrax had bright yellow scales and a gentle temperament, but immense strength. Rhaenyra often flew her around Dragonstone, and she laid several eggs, a sign of her fertility and health. When the dance began, Syrax fought fiercely, defending Rhaenyra's claim. But when the mob stormed the dragon pit, she was overwhelmed. Men with spears and chains tore her down as she tried to take flight, her golden wings broken in the dirt. Seasmoke, the Pale Ghost. Seasmoke hatched around 101 AC and was a silver-gray beauty, sleek, fast, and playful. First ridden by Laenor Velaryon, then by Adam of Hull, he was among the youngest to fight in the dance. At Tumbleton, he faced Vermithor and Tessarion, 3 dragons in one flaming battle. Their flames turned day to night, the heat melting armor and steel. When it ended, all 3 were dead, their bodies still smoldering as the river steamed. Moondancer, the Swift Green. Moondancer was born around 120 AC, a small, green, quick-tempered dragon bonded with Baela Targaryen. She wasn't yet full-grown when the dance reached Dragonstone, but she faced Sunfire anyway. Their duel was short but vicious. Sunfire burned her wings mid-air, and Moondancer fell to the beach in flames. Balus revived, but her dragon's light faded into the sea. Sheepstealer, the Brown Terror. Sheepstealer was hatched before 95 AC, a wild dragon who fed on livestock and feared no man. He lived on Dragonstone for decades, unclaimed, until Nettles, a peasant girl, tamed him with kindness. She fed him daily, earning his trust until he allowed her to climb on his back. Together they fought for Rhaenyra during the dance, but when the queen turned paranoid, Nettles fled with Sheepstealer into the Mountains of the Moon. Neither was seen again, though shepherds in Essos still tell tales of a brown dragon that steals flocks at dusk. Grey Ghost, the Phantom. Grey Ghost was born around 95 AC and never had a rider. He was a pale, shy dragon who lived in the smoky caverns of Dragonstone, feeding on fish. When Sunfire later returned to the island, he attacked and devoured Grey Ghost in a single fiery strike, one ghost consuming another. The Cannibal, the devourer of his kind. The Cannibal was the oldest and largest of the wild dragons, likely born long before 95 AC, perhaps before Aegon's conquest itself. He was a massive black-scaled monster who fed on dragon corpses, eggs, and sometimes living hatchlings. No one dared approach him. When the dance ended, the cannibal vanished, flying east into the clouds. Some believe he survived for centuries, hidden across the sea, waiting for the world to forget so dragons to rise again.